Hey everybody, today I'm going to be unboxing and testing out my new Ninja Hot and Iced Extra Large Coffee Maker with Rapid Cold Brew. And I did just barely get this in, and what it includes in this package is the Ninja 12 cup glass carafe, permanent filter, and Ninja Smart Scoop. And then the additional features that it shows on here are the removable water reservoir, programmable delay brew, drip stop, and clean cycle. So, right off the top you get your quick start guide. And probably to make this super easy on myself, I'm going to actually sit this on the floor and then pick it up. It's just going to be a lot easier since it just comes all right out there. And this looks super neat. Very, dare say modern. Not that that makes a difference whatsoever, but it's just unique. I haven't seen one made like this before, so it's just a very interesting design. And there's that, and you guys can probably see that the Smart Scoop is taped on right there, just to make sure that, you know, it doesn't come loose in case you have yours shipped to your house. And this scoop, you can either do 3 to 5 cups or 4 to 7 on this side, and then 2 to 3 or 3 to 5. So I will go through the manual and make sure exactly which is which. I mean, I know I just told you guys, but still, it's always nice to have a definitive answer. So, I'm trying to do this easy. And as simple as this is, the box says that this should be your glass carafe. And it is also very well packaged in here. And indeed, little girls watching cartoons. So, but yes, here is your beautiful glass carafe. And then you'll see this is attempting to come out. I just not quite sure how to. There we go. Well, that's easy enough. And your permanent filter, like it said, it's one of those cone ones. Not that that makes a difference. So, with that being said, and I think it is. Oh, that's really neat. And then also here is the little tray for your smaller cups. Alright, let's just see if we can jump right into the quick start guide here. Let's see if we can't get some coffee going here. Alright, now that we have everything unwrapped, you get your quick start guide and then obviously your important safety instructions. And I want to make sure I had all the tape off, and I was missing one little piece here. So, get that off there. Alright, let's go back to this quick start guide. First and foremost here. Alright, before your first brew, to prime your brewer, plug it into an outlet and turn it on. Fill the water reservoir to the full line with fresh water and place it on base. Place the empty carafe under the brew basket and run a full carafe classic brew. Once the brew cycle is complete, discard the water and you're ready to go. And then it just has a neat little tidbit here. It says, if you live in a high altitude area, running a calibration brew is required to prevent excessive steaming during brewing. See page 4 of the owner's guide for instructions on how to run a high altitude calibration brew. And lo and behold, I live in a high altitude. So, we're going to go over here. And on page number 4, ironically, it's what I just opened to when I opened up the owner's manual. Preparing for use. Remove all packaging material and stickers from the coffee maker. Wash the water reservoir, carafe, removable filter holder, and permanent filter holder. Not included on all models, FYI. In warm soapy water with a soft cloth. And then rinse parts and dry thoroughly. And then it does go on to tell you before first use to prime the system by running a full carafe classic brew cycle water only. And so let me just get everything all cleaned up and then I'll jump down to this high altitude calibration brew. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so I have went ahead and washed everything that is washable. So we are ready to get it up and going. And now that I said all that, let me get back to page number 4 here. And like I had said, I live in high altitude, so I am going to do the high altitude calibration brew on page number 4 of the owner's guide. And so it tells you to fill the water reservoir up to, but not exceeding, the fill line. And so with that being said, we're going to, I don't know if you guys can kind of see that. I'm trying to get it fill all the way up there. So I am pretty close there. Whoops. Did not mean to throw that in the sink, but oh well. Do I feel that? Oh, there we go. It helps if I know how to put it back on, which was a challenge. But anyway, nonetheless, I think we're ready to go now. If I can get it, I'm going to pull it out just a tiny bit there, just because my cabinet was in the way. So when putting my reservoir back on, I have to make sure that I'm away from my cabinet. So I'm going to go ahead, and I did not show you guys, but this is the permanent filter. So, and as you can see, it's removable. So if you want just one of those paper cone filters, you sure can do that. So you have those options, which, you know, always nice to have options. So with that being said, place the empty filter holder into the brew basket. And obviously we want put this here, and it's saying that for step number 3, press and hold both classic and over ice until clock displays CAL, which is calibration. So this is going to be really hard for you guys to see. I'm going to try to just do it really quick and then see if I can get you guys up close. So, like I said, classic and over ice. So, and it says it should flash calibration. But clearly I did not do that right. So it is only going to brew an 8 ounce cup. So I will try that again here in just a second. Oh. And I'm just reading as this is doing its thing here. It does say, on a little side note, it says pressing the classic over ice cold brew or power button will cancel the calibration cycle. And this calibration is permanently saved and will not be lost if power is interrupted or brewer is unplugged. brewer can be recalibrated at any time if it is used at a different altitude. So there you go. That's a nice little tidbit. And you can see, just, you know, since I didn't get it calibrated the way I wanted to, and that's all right though. But there is your progress bar too, right there. So, like I said, right now it's only brewing an 8-ounce cup, so, which is fine. But I just needed to see about doing this calibration thing, so I will try that when this is all done here. But it's a really neat machine. I like it. It's definitely a little bit different. And as you guys can see, it will not fit underneath my countertop, or my cabinets, excuse me. So that would be a reason for me to not keep it. Either that or I would just move it to a different space, but you know, this is my kitchen, so it would make sense to have a coffee maker in your kitchen. But it will not fit. So it is tall. So if you have higher cabinets, obviously this will work just fine. But like I said, mine, as you can see, it will not. And you can see there too, we're almost to the very end of this 8-ounce brew cycle here. Alright, so that little 8-ounce cup that it brewed is done. So I'm going to try this calibration one more time here and just see. I'm going to try to push it both at the same time. There we go. Now I got the calibration sign to flash. So I did it right that time. So now it is going to do its thing as far as the calibration goes, and then we can get going with coffee. So that was very short and to the point. So my machine is now calibrated. So with that being said, I'm still going to go ahead and do a full brew just so I can get it ready to go, because like I said, that was just to calibrate the machine. So with that being said, I am going to fill the water reservoir back up to the top and dump out what I have in there, and then we'll get going. Alright, we are ready to brew our first carafe of water, if you will, to get the machine ready. And as you see, I have it all the way filled up to the top, and I'm just ready to get going. So we are just going to do the full carafe. So I'm going to turn the power on and adjust the dial here to get over to the full carafe. So I'm just going to turn it, and we're doing 55 ounces, and we just want classic brew there. So it is going to do its thing. And this way we can have some coffee. So as you can see here, we are nearing the very end of getting the first brew cycle completed. And again, there is your intelligent warmer. And it's a really neat machine. I wanted to show you here on the brew styles. You obviously have 4 different ones to choose from. I will be doing just a regular cup of coffee here as soon as this brew cycle ends. But I wanted to show you, I think it's back here if I'm not mistaken. Yes, right here. It says when the intelligent warming plate is on, it can be turned off manually by pressing the stay warm button. It can be turned on manually by pressing the stay warm while carafe is selected. So there's that neat little, I didn't know that it came with an intelligent warming feature, but yeah, that's pretty neat overall. Like I said, it's just a neat design, so I am excited to get to brewing some coffee here shortly. And the only thing that, I see a drawback right now is just the fact that it's tall. And you also can't do K-cups in this machine, as you see. It is strictly just for ground coffee. I was going to try to wait for the end for it to... There you go. And there you have it. We're ready to get going with some coffee now. So I am ready to brew just a single cup of coffee. And with that being said, I am going to fold down my little tray there so that my 10-ounce mug that I have will fit just perfect there. And with that, I'm going to fill the water reservoir. And like I said, I'm just doing 1 cup, so I'm just going to fill it up to the single cup line right there with cold water. And it is not a big deal if you fill it up a little past the line, which I have done. Not on purpose, but I did fill it up just a little bit past there, so. But I'm just excited to get a cup of coffee here. That is there. And I am just using good old Folgers, and I am just going to use the filter basket that's in there. And with that being said, it's pretty easy to follow here on page number 5 of the Quick Start Guide, the brewing process. It says to choose a scoop, and that's when this little guy comes in handy. I mean, obviously you don't have to use this, but it's just nice that it comes with it. And so since I have a 10-ounce mug, according to the little chart that they have built in here, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 small scoops, depending on, how big your cup is. And so with that, I am going to do 2 little scoops here. And I'm going to kind of overfill it a little bit. I know that might be a little hard to see, but I'm just dumping it right in there. So it's nice if you just want, a single cup yourself, because you can just say, hey, I'm going to just brew 1 little cup. And so that is a nice feature that it has. And you just want to make sure that your drip stop is open before you obviously turn on your machine, because otherwise nothing's going to happen. So with that, like I said, I got everything there. My little stand is ready to go. I'm going to turn it on. And obviously I do not want 55 ounces. That would be a big mess. I just want 10. And I'm going to do classic. And so, with any luck, here in just a moment, we will have coffee. And so it's nice because you don't necessarily have to have the big carafe to brew just yourself a single cup. So yeah, it's pretty neat. And it does say it will like start and stop throughout the whole process, and that's totally normal. And obviously you can always gauge how far along you are with the little process bar right down there. So it's a pretty simple machine in itself. You don't have a lot of bells and whistles, which, some people like. I don't necessarily mind. I just want coffee, plain and simple. So to me, it doesn't matter. Like I just said, I'm not overly fancy. Sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. But with this, it's just perfect the way it is. And as you see here, you can also do like a delay brew if you need it or want to. So that's pretty neat. And then it also has its own like cleaning function down there. And I can jump in the manual here after my cup is brewed, and we can see what all the cleaning entails. But for now, we're just gonna watch this cup of coffee get brewed. And this obviously is brewing a little faster than just the regular carafe. And you can start and stop it whenever you want. Like it said in here, if you're in a hurry or something and you just want it to be done really quick, you can push any of those buttons, including the power button, and it'll stop. Just make sure that you close this. Otherwise, coffee's gonna be everywhere. And nobody wants that. So, I believe we're pretty darn close to the end here. Nonetheless, you get the gist. Like, it's pretty much at the very end. So if you don't want to wait for it to say end, you can definitely just close it, like I'm going to. And it even will show you up here that the drip stop is closed. So you're ready to sip your hot coffee. And just because I know a lot of you like to see me actually test out my products and whatnot as far as sampling what I made. So yeah, that is a delicious cup of coffee and that I just made in my Ninja Hot and Iced Extra Large coffee maker.